Good afternoon. I am Counselor Dee Knudsen, and I would like to call our 4 o'clock informational to order for Monday, March 3rd, 2008. And we will start with a City Council staff report from our very capable Tamara Jorgensen.
Thank you, Dee. The only update that I have for you at this time is a reminder that on Friday, March 14th is the deadline for the petitions, and election informational is available to the public at the Sioux Falls City website at www.siouxfalls.org. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. We'll run through our committee reports, and we'll start with the Audit Committee of Counselor Kavanaugh.
No report.
Fiscal Committee, Counselor Costello.
We'll be meeting immediately following the informational today to discuss alternative financing infrastructure proposal and then a short discussion on some property tax abatement reporting.
Thank you very much. Land Use Committee, Counselor Jamieson. Public Services Committee, Counselor Brown.
We will meet next week with ideas from both Judy Boozman and Carol Muller of the Helpline Center about daycare regulations.
Okay, thank you. At this time, I would like to entertain any topics for open discussion among any of you. Information is going quite quickly here today. We'll go on with our staff report, and at this time, I'd like to call forward Jim Clark, the Sculpture Walk Director, and Mike Cooper and Russ Sorensen from our own planning department to inform us about the 2008 Sculpture Walk program. Please.
Good afternoon. Russ Sorensen with the City Planning Office here this afternoon to inform you about the 2008 Sculpture Walk program. Along with me this afternoon is Jim Clark. He's the Executive Director for the Sculpture Walk program and South Dakota Manager for Xcel Energy. With that, Jim.
Thank you, Russ. We are very excited about Sculpture Walk 2008. This will be our 5th year. It's hard to believe. We had 133 entries from all over the U.S. and 10 different countries, juried down to 55 that you will see, very outstanding sculptures. And so we're very, very pleased with the sculptures that will be coming. Russ tells me I have 20 minutes, so I should probably get into the presentation. Should mention also that we have sold 58 sculptures over 4.5 years. 13 of those have been donated to the city. We're still working on a couple more for the library, and so that will bring a total of about $257,000 total in sculptures, the pedestals, and also the concrete pads that go to the city. The total contribution from the city has been $100,000, so real good return on your investment. Okay, should we get started? What I'm going to do is go through all of the sculptures and the sites. What you will see are photos and sketches from the artists. After the sculptures are up in May, we will take photos for the brochure, but for now, this is what we have to work with. Spirit of Energy, done by Karen Crane of Colorado. It's a nice-sized sculpture, new location. She's a new artist. We have 48 artists from 16 states, 3 countries. 16 of the artists are new. Karen is new. A nice-sized sculpture in the South Plaza at the Washington Pavilion. Mother and Daughter, done by Rizard. He goes by one name, from Colorado. A beautiful sculpture that's going in front of the Great Outdoor Store. And then next, we go north to in front of the bookstore. Transitions to Carol Allman, another new artist. Beautiful sculpture, nice size bronze vase. And then next, in front of Mrs. Murphy's Irish Gifts, all together now, done by Joe Palumbo. In front of the Prairie Star Gallery, we'll go Flight of the Dragonflies, done by Chris Powell. He's been with us every year, a wonderful artist. So this is bronze, and it's kinetic. Then down in the corner is Cubist Woman, done by Dana Parlier. He won Best of Show last year. Up in front of First Bank and Trust, 10th and Main. We have about 3 or 4 on Main. This will be right at the corner. Devoted, done by Chuck Weaver of Colorado. Then back to Phillips. Train, done by Kyle Foken of Minneapolis. Beautiful sculpture. This will be on a large pedestal, so the entire sculpture will be above the pedestal. Out of harm's way, it'll be nice and high. The next is Always Faithful, done by Edward Thomas. He's a graduate of the Flandreau Indian School. He now lives in Nebraska. Very excited to be in Sculpture Walk. Actually has 2 sculptures. This is the first one. It'll be made out of limestone. Grandma's Garden, done by Lee Looning and Sherry Treby, will be just south of the diner where the Potato Man was a couple years ago. Pedal and Pedal Piglets, done by Carrie Quaid of New Mexico. This will be between the diner and Phillips Avenue by the fountain. Dawn, done by Dennis Klein of Canada. He has 2 sculptures. This is the first one, just north of the diner by the fountain. And then on the north side of the fountain will be Daydreams, done by Sandra Johnson. She won Best of Show our first year. This is a nice-sized sculpture, 48 inches high, bronze. Next, Sayulita, done by Kitty Gordon from California. This is her second year in Sculpture Walk. And this sculpture and the next one will be new sites for us. It will be in the southeast corner of the CNA building, just east of the fountain. And Darwin Wolf of Sioux Falls. We have 4 artists from South Dakota. His sculpture is Fountain of Life. It's going to be a bronze, so the hands will not have the post holding them up. And this will be right next to Sayulita. Big Boots to Fill, new artist. And she has 2 sculptures as well. Esther Benedict from Texas. Now, these boots are 7 feet tall, 5 feet wide, and 6 feet long. So they'll have a pretty good presence right there, and very intricately done. Southwest corner of 9th and Phillips. And then up on Main, in front of First Dakota National Bank, will be Eagle in Flight, Edward Thomas's second sculpture, also made out of limestone. And then back to Phillips in front of Wells Fargo will be Dakota Leader, done by Janice Albro from Oklahoma. And then down in the corner, southwest corner of 8th and Phillips will be Stone Booth, done by Al Bellevue of Minnesota. And then over in front of U.S. Bank, Leo, done by Pokey Park of Arizona. This is her second year in Sculpture Walk. The Guardian will stand in front of the Chamber Building on the northeast corner of 8th and Phillips. Also a new artist, Delbert Brewster of Texas. Oriental, done by Gus Bellevue, actually Chicago. It's steel painted, nice size, almost 13 feet high. It'll be in front of the 8th and Railroad Center building. And then back to Phillips is Fist, done by Alexandra Martin of New York City. It's 40 inches high, it'll be on a quartzite pedestal, southeast corner of 8th and Phillips. And then Great Western Bank Planter will be Beacon, done by David Smalley of Connecticut, a new artist. Circle of Friends, done by Karen Crean of Colorado. She has 2 sculptures. Her first one is up at the pavilion. This will be in front of First National Bank. Louise Peterson, Chickadee, is a full-size Great Dane dog with a bird on his back, made out of bronze. It will be in front of First Financial Center. Twist in Time, done by James Hare. He won People's Choice, was it last year? This will be his sculpture this year in the planter in front of the First Financial Center. Nice size, 72 inches high. In front of Bender Commercial Real Estate will be Tall Cool One, done by Mary Michael of Montana, also a new artist. And then next to him, looking at him, will be Namoda, done by Ben Hammond of Utah. And they'll be fairly close together. In front of Skelly's, Open Your Hut, done by Craig LaCroix of Arizona, college professor. It's Pumice Rock. Three Mothers, done by Emil Ademic. He's Czech Republic, but he lives in Hong Kong, and he's shipping the sculpture from Hong Kong. This will be on the northeast corner of 10th and Phillips, just on the east side of the bump out. And then back to the east, at the northeast corner of 1st and 10th will be Sion, done by Christopher Lee of California, another new artist. Back to Phillips, in front of the DeHope Dutch store will be I've Been Kissed, done by Pokey Park, a nice size sculpture, bronze. And then in front of Rayfeld's will be Ma Can I Keep Him, done by Susan Geisler of New York. She did the Potato Man and the Cardinal a couple of years ago. It's hard to believe it's been a couple of years already. Eye to Eye, done by Mary Zimmerman of Colorado, will be in front of Johnson's Shoes. Hard Rock, done by Patty Stakar of Colorado. She was with us back in 2004, our first year, and now she's back, and that happens quite a bit. Nice sized bronze. That will be in front of Suzanne's. Shapeshifter, done by Lyle Parks, South Dakota artist, will be in front of Dominique's north, and this is just north of Shriver's. And then just to the south of that will be The Gardener, done by Dennis Klein of Canada. Esther Benedict's second sculpture is Elegant Spirit, a full-size horse. Will stand in front of Shriver's, northeast corner of 11th and Phillips. And then across the street, Moral Support, done by Ruth Burink of Colorado. She, too, is a new artist, and this is marble. And we're looking at the figure. We just added the bird sculpture just to show the quality of her work. But the figure will be in marble, and then the metal piece will be in bronze. This is Love, done by Osamido Bazit of California. Nice-sized cowboy on a bull, made out of metal, different metals. His sculpture this year is in front of the bookstore, and I think he won third best of show. This will be in front of Dakota Bank. The Grace is done by Joanne Malin Davies of Denmark. This will stand in front of Michelle's Coffee Shop, and it's bronze. Dakota Queen, done by Bob Tenkate, Sioux Falls artist, will be in front of Cafe 334, north side, where John Lennon is now. And then on the south side will be Inuit Mother and Child, done by Jeff Birch of Minneapolis, cast marble. And then out in the entrance to the 12th Street Courthouse Square Plaza will be Summer Garden, done by Sean Love of Montana. She missed last year. She had a nice sculpture there the year before. End of Day, done by Dee Clements of Colorado. Nice size, beautiful sculpture that will stand in front of the Federal Building. Rolling Horse, done by Joe Palumbo of Colorado. His second sculpture, it's 93 inches high. It's a very large sculpture. This will be on the northeast corner of 13th and Phillips in front of Mid-Continent. Dance of the Butterflies, done by Gus Ocampa Silva from Florida. It's iron and resin, and it will be in front of Kello TV. The Boss, done by Dolores Shalady of Utah. Very large sculpture, quite a presence, welcoming people into downtown from the south. This will be on the northwest corner of 13th and Phillips. Firefly, done by Lee Badger of West Virginia. This is his second year in Sculpture Walk. This will be in the planter on the northwest corner of 12th and Phillips. Then in front of the bead and jewelry store will be Asclepius and Hygeia, done by Nicola Garros of Minneapolis, and he's been in Sculpture Walk every year. And then in front of Meyer Henry Law Firm, there's two fairly close together. This will be on the south pedestal, Little Bird, done by Julie Jones of Colorado. And then next to it will be Tossed Salad, done by Sherry Hamilton of Utah. And then in front of Minerva's, right by their front door, will be Waiting for Mom, done by Dolores Shalady. It's actually Utah, not Vermont. And it's a nice-sized sculpture. Great spot for it. And then I tell you what, it's a youth sculpture that will go down just north of the Horse Art Barn in Falls Park. And then we have alternates, in case any of the first picks don't make it. Columns, done by Jimenez of Costa Rica. The Babe Pig, done by Mary Zimmerman of Colorado. Desert Mother, done by Paulson of Minnesota. Deliverance by Kuhn of Oregon. Nosy done by Noland of Colorado. Free Again done by Fadley of Colorado. September done by Rizard of Colorado. A lot of Colorado artists. Prayer Fan done by Brewster of Texas. A Helping Hand done by Dale of Wisconsin. South Wind, How God Created the Horse done by Fadley of Colorado. New Dancing Moon 2 by Swanson of Colorado. Directions done by Ken Peterson of Iowa. Memoirs Reservoir by Tavanzio of Italy. Freedom done by Olson of Florida. And Torque done by Chu of Florida. And that's it. Any questions from any of you? Dee?
Jim, thank you so much for your work on this wonderful project. Would you remind us when will the new ones go up? I think it's usually about Mother's Day weekend.
It is. This year, we have shipped-in sculptures that will go up. I believe it's April 25th. And then on May 9th, the artists that aren't shipping in will bring their sculptures, and we'll set 30 or 40 of them up on May 9th. They'll all be up, hopefully, by the afternoon of May 9th, and then we'll have the artist reception.
And also, would if there are people out there who would like to buy some of the sculptures from this current year, would you remind us how people can reach you?
Well, they can contact me at XL Energy, or they can call Main Street Sioux Falls, or they can call the Sioux Arts Council.
And are all of those sculptures still on the Sioux Falls website?
They are.
Okay,
Thank you.
Councilor Stagers.
Yeah, Jim, I noticed we have a cast marble. Have we had cast marble before?
We have,
Oh,
a couple years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of unique.
Yes, thank you.
Councilor Brown.
How many of them are South Dakota artists this year?
We have 4 this
4.
year.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you again very much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
This
Russ.
will be on the council's regular agenda
You
for March.
want to come?
Sculpture Walk 2008 resolution will be on your regular meeting agenda for March 17th.
Okay, and thank you, Russ. We appreciate your help with this project, and Brenda, thank you always, too, for your assistance.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item under staff reports is the 2007 End of the Year Arena Report by Russ Curtains, and welcome.
Thank you, Councilor Knudsen, fellow councilors. It's a night of Russes, I guess, tonight, and Russ Sorensen and myself are the only ones from staff. I'd like to introduce to you our Senior Vice President for SMG, Joe Romano. He's sitting in the back, watching my back and providing protection for me. The 2007 year, we saw a number of very colorful events at the arena, from Blue Man Group to Sesame Street Live to a sold-out Elton John concert. They were all colorful in their own right. And here's a listing of some of the events that we hosted. A very exciting year. Minor league sports teams have become a significant part of our event schedule. Between 65 and 75 events a year, or roughly 1/3 of our arena usage, is minor league sports teams. We had an extraordinary year last year, captured some titles, and saw some top-notch quality entertainment, including 38 consecutive, or 39, I think. Councilor Litz would tell me, he'd set me straight if he was here, but the Storm has run off a record number of wins for a minor league sports team. In fact, for any type of professional sports football team. Our event attendance and event history saw a 2.8% decrease in the number of people attending the arena events. A good part of that could be attributed to some of the sports teams actually not drawing quite as well. The Skyforce in their inaugural season with the D-League still finding its groove, but I think 2008 will prove to be a much better year for them. Even though our attendance was down, our number of events was up about 14%. For the first time in 10 years, the Rib Fest saw rain every single day of the event. We had more vendors, more entertainment, and more giveaways, including giving away a car, and we had more sogginess than ever. But the graph is a little bit misleading. I didn't notice this until it was published, but there really was only 5,000 people difference between last year and 2006. So the graph makes it look like there was twice as many people in 2006, when in fact there were only 5,000 more people attending the event. We had a great event, but just you got to keep that rain away, I guess. Out of all the numbers that I'm giving you tonight, one of the most important numbers that we feel was our recycling effort. 22% of the arena's waste was diverted from the landfill. That's equivalent to 26 tons, or 1,000 pounds each week, that was diverted out of the landfill and into the recycling. We have a proven track record for recycling, and we're going to be able to increase that number hopefully by another 8 to 10%, maybe more, because our recycling program has gone single stream and single source, as some of them call it. So our glass and our plastics can be collected a lot easier in the future, and we've already started doing that. Before this, we couldn't recycle glass. So I can imagine that that's going to, the number we hope will go up another 10%. SMG has been involved in the community. In the portfolio here, you have a number of the things that we've been involved with, including Forward Sioux Falls, American Diabetes Association, First Night Sioux Falls, and a couple of them that didn't make the report. We sponsor the Empire Mall Visitor Information Center, and also spend a few dollars and some time on the Sioux Falls Farm Show, Sale of Champions, and have a lot of fun with that. We buy, well, we don't actually buy the animal. We pay a premium to the producers for the animals and make them proud and profitable to come back to our farm show every year. So we've been involved in that for the last 10 or 11 years. This is a combined report for the arena and the Orpheum. Since it's one management, one contract, we have been just thrilled and excited to be part of the Orpheum Theater Center's completion and rebirth, so to speak, with the opening of the Annie Zabel Studio Theater, the classroom, the lobby, restrooms, concessions area. We believe that the Orpheum Theater Center has become a premier event destination for Sioux Falls. With the success of Sioux Empire Community Theater, they just finished a run of Steel Magnolias. I understand that we were within 40 tickets of selling out the last performance on Sunday. I don't have the final numbers from the 6 performances, but I know that they're very pleased with the attendance down there. Last year, they added a couple of shows to some of their performances. I think the community theater has found a home that they're proud to be in, and we're just thrilled to have them. Jazz and Blues Society should not be missed either, because they're a local organization that uses the Orpheum Theater Center 3 or 4 times a year with some fantastic performances. The event attendance history for the Orpheum and the event day history is indicative of people finding out that it's a quality place, an affordable place to hold their events. We had an 8% increase in attendance last year. We just recently put on sale 2 shows for the, and I know you all know who Bob and Tom are, but the Bob and Tom comedy tour, we put 2 shows on sale, 690 seats per show, sold them out in 2 days. They're considering adding a 3rd show at 4 o'clock in the afternoon because of the demand. We had a 16% increase in event days, and this does not include the additional space. This is just the main theater. This is just the main stage. This does not include the Annie Zabel Studio Theater, the classroom usage. These numbers are just the main stage. Despite a 2.8% decrease in attendance, the revenues at the arena were up. The overall building revenue was up 1.8%. Our food and beverage sales were up 4.1%. The Orpheum overall revenue was up 35.8%. Our combined budget improvements resulted in over $51,000 being returned to the city's general fund. That number I'm pretty proud of, too. In your packet, you don't have this, Brenda. I apologize. These didn't make the slides because the printing is so small nobody would be able to see them anyway. There are several press releases that I wanted to draw your attention to, including the upcoming Summit League Tournament award, the Orpheum Theater Center, the Elton John, the highly successful volleyball tournament that resulted in a fairly large number of economic impact to the community. And then last but not least on our press releases, our part of going green at the arena because of the recycling efforts. We're very proud of that. In conclusion, despite the reports of the arena being 47 years old and way past its prime, I am here today to tell you that it still stands as a tremendous city asset and generates millions into the local economy, and be more than happy to answer any question. That concludes my report.
Russ, thank you. Councilor Stagers?
Yeah, Russ, congratulations on giving the city back $51,000. I think that's really fantastic.
Thank you.
Councilor Brown?
Russ, could you clarify, you said, was it a third of the time the sports organizations are occupying the arena?
Approximately one-third of our event days are taken up by the sports teams, about 70 out of 210.
Does that include the setup for those
No,
days?
that's the event days
Okay.
alone. Normally, when we're in the middle of the season like now, we're going from basketball to hockey and back to basketball overnight, not missing any beats. We're absolutely at one point, and I don't remember what year it was, but I remember counting 11 days in a row where we did not have the same sports team in the building, and we threw in a Harlem Globetrotters on top of it just to make sure that we had to convert from hockey to a basketball setup. But there were 11 days in a row where we did not repeat the same event, and we had conversions every night.
Thank you.
Councilor Costello?
Russ, along that line, your events that are held at the arena, are they typically weekend-driven?
Primarily weekend-driven and January, February, and March driven.
Okay.
Because we are so busy in January, February, and March that we are having to turn away events, having to make really hard decisions on what we can accommodate. We have commitments to our sports teams that allow us a restriction. It restricts us on what we can do.
Okay,
And
so that's where the point I was getting to. So out of the 52 weekends a year, how many of those are taken up by our sports teams?
between October 1st and the end of April, virtually every weekend. I'll give you all the weekends in July you need. July and August are slow.
And you probably have a hard time filling it for other events in those times as well.
Scheduling the arena has been a challenge for really the last 10 years with adding the second and third sports teams almost simultaneously has made the task of scheduling the arena a little bit harder. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Councilor Benica?
Russ, can you give me some idea how many events that you may turn away in a year's time based on the size of the arena?
It's a good question because sometimes they don't even call because our industry is a pretty small industry and everybody knows what the building's capable of doing and all of our promoters are familiar with the building. The ones that we get the opportunity to actually talk to them and they find out that it's too small, probably 4 to 6 a year. And then just because they call and want the date doesn't necessarily mean it'll even happen because of routing or competition. I just spoke to a promoter this morning that we're not too small for the event. Long story short, the promoter that I was dealing with found out that a different promoter had the rights to the show and is taking it to Iowa. So sometimes we think we have something and we still don't even have it. But it's a very tight, tough, competitive business.
Do we become, a sub-stop, if you will, I don't know what the proper term would be, between the larger communities such as Minneapolis, Omaha,
we are a tertiary market in our industry, not even considered secondary because of the population. We've been handicapped for the last several years because we used to be the big dog in the market. In our market, if you take a 100-mile radius, people will easily drive 100 miles to see an event, a show in this part of the world. 60, 70 miles down the road in Sioux City, they built 10,000-seat Tyson Event Center. As soon as they opened that building, we had an immediate impact on the traffic at the arena because before that they were 3,800-seat, very, very run-down, tired building, and we were 6,500 to 7,000 seats, so we got more than our share, so to speak, in the market, but quite frankly, we're the same market. People think nothing of driving an hour and a half to see a show, or down to Omaha even.
Just one more question. Is there a way, or do you track license plate to kind of figure out where the demographics are coming from?
We do something a little more sophisticated than that nowadays, and quite frankly, because we share the parking lot with so many other entities, the license plate survey would be flawed. We do a Ticketmaster online sales reports, and I don't have that information in front of me, but we'll take those snapshots from the big events that we know people are traveling for, like the Elton John type of shows. I hate to give you numbers off the top of my head, Gerald, but yes, we do look at that, and we do know people travel. We do know that even for the event like the Rib Fest, we get people that will come in from Denver to see the show because they'll be traveling either through the area or know they're going to be close and they're looking for things to do. We use the Ticketmaster website and our websites to make sure that people have access to the information. But yeah, we track zip codes on credit card transactions and online transactions with Ticketmaster and give us a good idea. We know they're driving in.
Thank you.
Councilor Brown?
Russ, similar vein, do we know the number of events we turn down because we have a full calendar?
Well, we don't keep a lost business chart because, again, some of these things are inquiries that may or may not happen. But I could tell you that right now we've been working with the CVB on a couple of events. The AAU wrestling tournament was hosted at the convention center. Last year was hosted at the Elman Center. They really want to talk to us about using the arena for the weekend, and I just don't have the event dates available for them. But,
and then a similar question that I asked the pavilion last week, do you have a calculator to show what economic impact your events have?
I knew somebody would ask that, and I was working desperately to find that number. And in fact, just this morning was talking to corporate about it. The problem that we have is that we do a mix of events. The Skyforce Games have one economic benefit, and the Lutheran Women's Missionary League would have a totally separate set.
Right.
The best that I can tell you is that we know the direct spending in our facility. The sports teams aren't as forthright with their numbers as I'd like them to be. You know, they have no responsibility to give me their sales of corporate sponsorships and that sort of thing. But we calculated last year a little over $8 million of direct spending attributed to the arena alone. That number could be a third of what it actually is. It could be, pretty close. But we do know, for instance, $4 million is spent in concessions and ticket revenue that we know of, that we handle, and our sponsorships and the things that flow through our hands, so to speak. What we don't know is the trade show revenues, how much money is spent on the Sportsman Show, how much the booth sales are at the Sportsman Show, those type of things. We can apply economic multipliers to all of that, but it's still a pretty wild guess. We know that between 1.8 and 2 times the money that is spent directly in our facility turns over in the community. That number is established by the consultants, the experts, is 1.8 to 2 times whatever the direct dollars spent in our facility. So you could easily have an argument for a $60 million economic benefit at the arena, because we know there's $8 million spent. What we don't know is the hotel rooms and the ancillary spending that's there. It's a great question. I'm not sure, without spending a lot of money studying the trends and each individual event, I'm not sure I could ever come up with an exact number.
Thank you.
Councilor Costello.
Russ, you indicated that immediately after the Tyson Center opened up in Sioux City, we saw an immediate impact of that. Do you have any, and if you don't know, I understand that, it's kind of an unfair question, but do you have any idea where they're at in Sioux City with the Tyson Center? Do they cover their operating costs? Are they as successful as they thought they were going to be?
I have anecdotal information. I have a friend that happens to be the manager of the Tyson event.
Well, I'll take
Center.
that.
Not the executive director, not the boss, but a friend that manages the Tyson. The first year of their existence, they went great guns. They had everything that they could put in there. And the honeymoon period for any new building, it's an exciting time. You can get artists to perform because they'll ride that wave of excitement. They'll ride that extra publicity that they get in the community. It's a big thing. We call it a honeymoon period in our business. I'm not sure what everybody else calls it, but they were putting everything in they could. Not long after the Tyson Event Center opened up, the Quest Center in Omaha opened up. And they went through their honeymoon period like nobody's seen in this part of the country ever. They were trying to figure out how to fit Elton John in between the Eagles and the Stones. That was their problem. They were doing everything. So I'm not sure what the numbers are, but I will tell you that they have taken some heat for not continuing that honeymoon period, that initial rush of events. They haven't been able to sustain that, quite frankly, because of the Omaha building, and our business is a little soft right now. The touring shows, there aren't as many of them out there, and not everybody can hold the Stones in their building. And we were fortunate with a lot of legwork and begging. We got the Elton John show to play here. It was going to play Rapid City because of the extra seats, but we did some fast talking and.
So it's, how long has it been open, the Tyson Center?
Close to 3 years,
3
I
years.
believe.
Any idea if they're positive or negative on their cash flow?
I'm sorry, I can't. I'll try to find out for you.
No, that's fine. That's beyond your responsibility.
Well, I also do know that they have a combined budget. They have the arena, the convention center, the Long Lines Ice Arena, the Sports Authority, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and probably one more thing that is all in one combined budget. So to get a straight answer out of Sioux City might even be a trick for them.
Thank you.
Any other questions for Russ? Thank you very much for
Thank you
that
for your
end-of-the-year
time.
report, Russ. Councilor Costello?
I have a question for Gary, or maybe
Okay.
Mike can answer it. The management contract on the arena, when does that run out?
December 31, 2008.
So this year?
Yes.
When will we look to make a decision on the future of that?
I can't answer. That has not been decided yet. I can't answer that. It's being certainly discussed.
I only bring that up because it seems like when we came to the end of the John Q. Hammonds deal, we found ourselves under a little bit of a time crunch, and it would be unfortunate to have that happen again.
Would there be any other questions? I wanted to just give you a heads up on tonight on one of our items. It's, the Lake Avenue vacation item, which is number 14 on our agenda. I just wanted to just tell you that out of courtesy to Councilor Litz, who is unable to be here for very good reasons today, is that I am going to make a deferral motion to defer item number 14 till April 14th. So I'm just telling you that so you won't be too surprised when we get to our evening meeting. And would you have anything else before we go into an executive session for contract negotiations? We have a contract negotiations matter we need to discuss tonight? Okay, I would like to call our informational. I'd like to adjourn our informational for today, and thank you for being here and for listening in on Channel 16. And we will start our executive session in 5 minutes, please. Oh, and I need a motion to go into executive session, of course. Someone?
So moved.
Councilor Costello, a second, please.